Hi, I'm Steve Shelburne, owner and operator of Shelburne RV here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. Good morning. We're back here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. I'm back from Orange City, Iowa, doing training. Those guys did real good last week. It's kind of fun. I left last week and it was in the hundreds, 90s and hundreds here, and I come back and it's in the 60s. So definitely have seen a change in weather over the last week. It definitely has cooled off. But we're back here. I want to thank everybody up there in Orange City for letting us come up there and hang out with them for a week. We had a good time. Did a lot of good training. But yeah, so we're back. It's actually Tuesday. My wife had hip replacement surgery yesterday, so I was out with her yesterday, and she did well. She's back in the house. She's getting around. Everything seems to be good. So she's a trooper. But it's Tuesday. We're back. I've got several things I've got to work on. That Prevost bus, I've got to get back on that, working on getting that one, basement airs in that one. And then, yeah, just do my normal rounds and see where the boys are at and see what's going on. So, yeah, we're rolling this morning. So, hey, welcome back. Next project here in the shop is this 2000 Winnebago Adventurer. Now, this is the original air unit that's in this, and the customer had put a board on it, and we had a little bit of an issue with the board, but when we got to checking down here, we had 120 on this leg and 109 on this leg. This is why we have our extension cord plugged up into it. Now, what we did to verify this, we actually went back here to the breaker box. And here in the breaker box, Mr. Lewis has actually got it all put back together. I pulled this cover off, and line 1, we had 120 volts. Line 2, we had 120 volts. But we've only got 109 volts back here. So there is a problem. There's a problem with this wire. This wire, for some reason, is broke somewhere back in here. Something's going on, not quite sure, but this unit runs perfect now, but obviously there's more wrong in there. Yeah, obviously, you know, he's gonna have to pull a new wire. It's just what it is. I mean, I don't, it's very suspicious to me that we have 120 volts up at the panel breaker box, but you know, 109 back here, and I did see some mice droppings in there, so it's very possible that something has chewed or done something. So, you know, we tested the unit, tested it with our box, we tested it with his thermostat, but we tested it with leg 1 of his power, and then we put our extension cord for line 2. And so the recommendation is do not use that wire. Obviously there's a little bit involved trying to pull that wire through the bus, so that's more than we're going to be able to handle on this appointment for him. So he's actually going to head back home, and of course the basement arrow will need to be pulled out, and then they'll have to chase that wire back through the floor, because it literally goes right through the center of the coach. But it's just more I can get done on this trip. But yeah, we've got it capped off in a moment, and you know, obviously that's something he's going to have to get resolved, because it could be a problem. So yeah, we've had that conversation with him, and Mr. Lewis is going to button it up now since it works on what we got, and we're going to leave that line capped off, and then, like I said, he's going to get it all fixed up. But he is done and fixing to head home. One of the projects here in the shop this week is this Fleetwood Bounder. Now, this customer initially had called me and said he had a set of MCD shades with bad motors in it, and the boys got tore into this thing, and this was not an MCD product. This is something other than MCD, and so the boys were able to go and find the correct manufacturer that made this part. And yeah, Irvine shade motor. So they were able to get the parts for this, and they're working now to get these. There's so much labor involved. One of the motors is bad. But there's so much labor involved in doing this. We just told the customer, hey, listen, you want to replace both of them, so that's what they're doing now. Project here in the shop, this customer brought this little gray wolf in and had stated that they were having slide problems. Slide was rubbing, coming in and out. Now you can see kind of what's going on right here, and I don't know if you can see how bowed in this wall is right here, but the problem here is not the slide, unfortunately, for this customer. If you look here, look how the body of this thing is sitting down on the frame right here. See how much gap there is right here? Well, what the boys have determined has gone on here is that water has gotten in here, and this whole floor is collapsed along this whole wall. And basically this whole side of the camper now is falling down, and that's why it's sitting on the frame right there, and all the wood has rotted. So this whole camper is just a bad deal. This is the problem with metal-sided campers, is by the time this has happened, you don't know. At least Phylon campers, you start seeing a lot of D-lam going on. But yeah, this whole thing has rotted on the frame. So quite a bit involved in fixing this. So yeah, they're going to be bringing this customer in and have a very difficult conversation. Unfortunately, that's just where they're at with that. I mean, that's metal-sided campers are bad about that, because by the time you realize there's a problem, it's too late. All that wood is rotted. I mean, Phylon at least starts delamming a little bit. You're going to see that where it's gotten behind that, and you know, there's going to be a lot involved to fix that. So it's going to be a tough conversation. Hey, well, good morning. Well, I'm sorry the videos have been a little bit short here lately. I had that big Prevost bus, that 2004, that we were doing 2 brand new air conditioners on with all new ductwork, and I'll be honest, that was a chore. There was a lot involved in that, and you know, we were kind of doing that that's the first one I've ever done, and so there was a little bit of, you know, R&D development that had to be done in making sure all that ductwork worked correctly. So yeah, I had a lot of time in that, getting that all set up. So I'm sorry, I'm behind on my videos a little bit, but yeah, we're rolling here. The shop last month was our 3rd slowest month as far as campers coming in for repair. We actually had a good month though, but yeah, it was that side of it was slow. This month started out a little bit, and it's not been as busy as I'd like for it to be. Now the basement air thing, man, they're busy out through, I think, 2nd week of October on that one. So yeah, going good on that. But yeah, the business side of that, the other side's been a little bit slow. So one thing that I got coming up, give you guys a little heads up on, Mr. Ryan Zomer and I, one of the things we talked about out in Iowa was about, you know, we did a lot of talking about small business. So him and I, in the next probably month, we're going to start a podcast. And you know, everybody talks about RV repair and how to fix this and fix that. I don't really see anybody out there talking about the small business aspect side of it, you know, the struggles of a small business. So I think Ryan Zomer and I are going to start a little podcast, and we're going to talk about the challenges of owning a small business in the RV industry. So that's coming up. So we're going to be working on that. But yeah, so this morning we got that Prevost we're still working on, and then Wednesday's appointment, which is a Powerhouse. I've never seen one before. Got a Volvo front end on it. Staircase is kind of unique. I'll take you down here and show you this. But we're going to be starting on working on it this morning, getting the basement air pulled out of it, seeing what's going on. But yeah, kind of interesting. So let's go down there and we'll check that out. Get going. All right, so the Cumberland County book bus is done at the moment with what they wanted to do. So let's take a quick look at this. You can see they've got everything painted up, and they went in here and put these little bungee cords in. The customer wanted a set of those so they keep the books from rolling around in here. But as you can see, this is all finished up and done and ready. All right, this big Endeavor, Holiday Rambler Endeavor right here had some front nose problems. Nose fell off, and you can see why. So we're gonna get this resolved here very shortly. All right, so this week's basement air was in a Winnebago Journey, and Mr. Lewis found out that it had a problem with compressor 2. So he just about got this one vacuumed back down and ready to go, but did put a new biflow valve in it and then update that compressor. So just pulling the vacuum on it now. This 6537 that Mr. Lewis had come in from a place out in Minnesota. They said it wasn't working right now. Somebody had put clamp-on taps here, which appeared to be leaking a little bit. So, you know, obviously we got rid of those, went back with braze-in taps. Mr. Lewis got it all vacuumed down. We updated the bearing, updated the capacitor. And then while we were here, we went ahead and updated all the other capacitors. And this unit runs great now, so it's no problem. It's getting ready to ship back. This unit, this is the old 6538-751. Now this one's got the rear fan. This one came in from a customer, and it did have a bad compressor. So we're changing out the compressor now. Now, you guys have seen in other videos where I work on these. You know, I'm not a big fan of the thermal expansion valves because really Coleman doesn't even support this no more. So Mr. Lewis has actually already updated system 1 with a biflow valve. So he's getting ready to put the compressor back in this one. He's already got his tap in place right there. And so he's getting ready to install this one now, and then we'll get it test run and ready. All right, so the next project here in the shop is this Allegro Bay. Now, this thing's got some ceiling panel issues that we're going to be resolving here. But what's kind of interesting, I want to show you guys this. Look how hot that light has been in here. Those old bulb type lights obviously have done some potential damage. This one here has been leaking. Skylight's been leaking a little bit, but yeah, we're going to try to do this in one piece, and then we're going to make this a little easier, we're going to cut this across here and put that in another piece. But yeah, that potentially could have been a problem. Winnebago Meridia in the shop here, and obviously got a little bit of a window issue, and he duct taped the crap out of this thing. So we're using a little bit of ugly juice to get all the stickiness off of this. Now this one was in our shop, a couple videos back. We installed a refrigerator, and this cooling unit, it's been giving us a little bit of a problem. So I actually fired this thing up in bypass mode over the weekend, and we're going to be giving JC Refrigeration a call on that one here in just a few minutes. All right, 6537 that had clamp-on taps. We got rid of the clamp-on taps. We put regular taps on it. We updated all the capacitors, put in the MO99 Freon, and you can see that's, how many degrees you say? 32 degrees, there you go. That one right there is awesome. So it's getting ready to ship back to Minnesota. All right, next project here in the shop is this 06 Country Coach. And this unit here is running, and somebody's worked on it, but when we put the thermal imaging camera on there, there's not very much heat in this unit. So we're gonna pull this out now and start working on it. But now I just did a video where we did a conversion from this to the new style, and I redid all the ductwork. This is the reason why we did all this, because this ductwork is very problematic at best, and this is what you got to do to get all this pulled out of here. And so yeah, this takes so much time to do this, where the one I built is very simple in the way you just press it in, seal it over there, and you're done. But we're getting this one pulled out right now, and we'll get it on the bench and see what we got. All right, next project here in the shop is this Arctic Fox. Now, haven't seen very many of these. I kind of like it. I mean, the way they do some of the stuff in here is pretty interesting. Look at that. Look at that side paneling. Kind of broke all the way. Yeah, it looks good. I don't know how to be when you got to replace it. But this gentleman has got a bent axle. Actually, he's got two bent axles. And so the boys are in here now getting new axles put in here. So just working away to get this done at the moment. All right, so here's the 6536 out of the Prevost bus. Now remember yesterday we looked at this. Somebody has put compressors in there. And this compressor was low on Freon. Now, we let this thing sit overnight, 350 pounds of nitrogen on it. It still had exactly 350 pounds on it this morning. Now, one thing that we didn't like was just the fact that these caps did not have, these are a set of caps we put on here. You know, I don't know if they didn't have the O-ring on the caps that it came in on. So I don't know if, you know, maybe the Schrader valve was weeping a little bit, and of course not having an O-ring on that cap was causing it to leak down a little bit. I don't know, but Mr. Lewis had pressure on it all night, 350 pounds, it held. So at this point, good bath, cleaning it good, and then he's going to go ahead and get this one on vacuum here in a few minutes, and we're going to get it all vacuumed down and then retest. All right, so Powerhouse RV, so kind of something I've never seen before. Stairs are pretty cool. That's not that's not something you see, but yeah, definitely a unique looking rig. Again, I've never seen one, but yeah, it's kind of a cool deal. The guy's got a trailer that matches it. Got a color scheme, the same thing. So basement air's right there. But yeah, we'll be getting into this one here this morning. 6536 out of the Prevost. Now we left it pressurized up overnight. Remember that system right there was showing a little bit low. We left it pressurized for 24 hours, and it never dropped below the 350 pounds that Mr. Lewis tested it with. Got to talking to the customer a little bit about that, and he had some guy in Texas work on this air unit, and that's when he kind of told me that the guy who worked on it really wasn't sure how much Freon to put in the system, and he was confused and really wasn't, wasn't sure. So that kind of makes sense. So definitely low charge. I mean, it was not charged correctly. Now, Mr. Lewis did get it running, and we have determined that the other system probably is not correct either. So we're going to go ahead and vacuum it down and get it charged back up to the appropriate levels and then retest it. 6538, Mr. Lewis had shipped into him. He's got the new compressor in. We got rid of the TXP, put in a biflow valve. This one here is finished up and basically ready to be shipped back to the customer. He's just got to put the covers back on and test run it. Now, this 6537, this came in from a guy. Where was he from? New Jersey? Yes. Guess he was from New Jersey. Yeah, drove down yesterday, was going to leave it with us and have us freight it back to him. But Mr. Lewis got into it. Literally, the only thing was wrong with it was a indoor freeze sensor was bad. So we went ahead and washed it, cleaned it, updated the outdoor bearing. And Mr. Lewis said this was one of the best units he ever run on test bench. He said this one was awesome. So it is, it's pretty much ready to go back to its owner. We just told the guy grab a quick hotel, and we'd have it ready for him in the morning. But yeah, this was an awesome running unit. So it's on its way back. All right, so Mr. Lewis has got the two compressors in here. Charge was good, but low amp draw. So this gentleman had run this for a while without that fan running, and obviously it caused damage to compressor number one. He's got a compressor number one, I'm sorry. He's got a compressor in it. They're right now moving. This one's such a pain to get to. They're actually gonna move the capacitor out here And that's what the customer wanted, so that's what we're doing. This 6536 had a bad reversing valve and 2 bad compressors, so we've got this one done. Mr. Lewis has got it checked out. You can see what his amp draws and differentials were. That's great. The one out of the Prevost is running right now. And it's got really good temps also. So we're getting ready to reinstall both of these. We're back here on the ceiling panel replacement job, and you can see they've got the new paneling in here. We did it in a couple different pieces. One piece there, one piece here, and then he's just getting everything tucked around, and we're going to do a little trim work and stuff of that nature. But yeah, this thing has turned out really nice. So we're up here under the bed. This is where the return is at, and his discharge goes up in the wall at it. I can tell you, there's a real good draw right there. That all looks good going up there. So we're just doing a check right now to see what our differential temperature will be. Another project here in the shop is this old Dutchman light bumper pull. Now, that's a little bit of an antique. That's an old mechanically operated Atwood water heater, which is gone. We are replacing this with a Suburban direct replacement. Now, mechanical's no longer being built, so this one actually has to have 12 volts ran to it with a switch, so that way it will automatically flame sense and relight without having to go out there and light anything. So Mr. Thomas at the moment, and you can see the control board right there that operates all that. That's just how they're done nowadays. So that's my fault, Thomas. I knocked that down. So right now he's got everything hooked up, but he's got to pull a 12 volt wire to that, and then we're going to mount a switch to operate it. But this is just how those are done nowadays. Those old mechanicals have been gone for a while, and that's a better solution too anyways, because then you don't have to worry about going out there accidentally lighting and flaming that on you. So, you know, when you do that where it's got an igniter and it automatically flame senses and it'll turn off and turn on and do its thing, it's just a better deal. It's a little safer. So they're working on getting that on there right now. All right, so we've got this one all finished up. You can see we're running about 77 degrees. That's about 18 degree differential. Now, part of the challenge in this bus obviously is the manufacturer only put one vent down the middle. Now what's kind of interesting about this, they installed fans in there, the little booster fans, and it does help move a lot of air through here, but obviously only having one channel going down the middle kind of, you know, restricts a little bit. But that unit's running great now. 2 new compressors, bad reversing valve, we got that done. So, and you can see up here on the wall his 76.7. So we're close on the temp. So yeah, about 18 degree differential. So this one's about to be done. See, this 6536 is back in the Prevost bus. It's running right now. We got good water dripping out of it. So we're gonna do the temperature test up in the cabin and see where we're at. All right, well, that's got that one finished up. Now, you know, he had somebody in Texas work on that, and they put 2 compressors in it, but they didn't get the charge. We found out the charge, one was low and one was too high. And so once we got the charges correct, we had 26 degrees on the test bench. So we're gonna run that one in the bus, see where we're at, get a baseline of what we got. But I mean, on the test bench, it was awesome, and they were able to get the ductwork taped up, and it was awesome. The big Powerhouse is done. You can see that right there. That thing's dripping water like mad. And you saw our final test on that, so that one's good. So yeah, very interesting bus. That's the first one I ever seen, and I mean, it's cool. So, but yeah, that one's done, and the Prevost is tested now, and then that one is going to be heading. Prevost should be done and ready for the bomb. All right, well, you can see, been a busy week here at Shelburne RV. We're getting finished up here today, and I think at one point this week we had 4 6536s in the shop at one time, which are very odd. I mean, you might see one. We see a lot of 6537, 6538s, but to have 4 6536s in the shop at one time, I don't know. It was just one of those weeks, I guess. So there you go. It was a busy week, and you got to see it with me. That guy right there who's pretending to know what he's writing on, he couldn't write and read up until just a couple years ago. No, That ain't right. Old cousin Gary. You know, I had a lot of you guys asking me about him because I hadn't had him on the last couple videos. He's still alive. There he is.
Yeah,
still kicking. So I appreciate everybody asking about cousin Gary. He's here. He's just plugging along. I was just out doing other things and never saw him. So how's things been?
Pretty good.
We had I was telling them a little bit, we had a little bit of a slow month last month, but you know, it is what it is. Hopefully you guys are going to come in and see us. We're covered up on basement airs. We just need to see the other stuff. So you just got to come down here and see cousin Gary. He's even got a stamp. Where's your stamp at?
There's my stamp.
See there, you even get you a cousin Gary approved stamp when you come down here and see him. He's got it right there. You just got to come pay your bill.
Yeah.
So there you go. So he is still alive and kicking, but there he is. Thanks for all the comments for last week. Appreciate everybody watching. And as always, this video is
Cousin Gary approved.
You guys take care. We'll see you next week.